Hey folks! I've taken the liberty of looking into the Carta Autonómica of Spain for Puerto Rico back in 1897 and comparing it with the Spanish Constitution of 1978. In this video, we are going to break it down. What Puerto Rico had in 1897 versus what Puerto Rico would have had if it had continued with Spain as of 1978 as a regional province. Check this out. It's very interesting, and it's incredible what Puerto Rico could have been today under Spain. Section 1. Historical context. In 1897, Spain granted Puerto Rico its own Carta Autonómica, giving the island an insular parliament and control over internal matters. But it was still fragile. Just a royal decree that could be revoked, and it ended quickly when the United States invaded in 1898. In 1978, Spain adopted its new democratic constitution. If Puerto Rico had remained with Spain, it would have been part of the state of autonomies, like Catalonia, or the Canary Islands, with autonomy guaranteed by the constitution itself, impossible to revoke without a referendum. Section 2. Political representation. In 1897, Puerto Rico had its own parliament with 2 chambers, and Puerto Ricans sent delegates to the Cortes in Madrid. But all decisions required the approval of the Governor General, Spain's representative on the island. In 1978, Puerto Rico would have had a democratically elected regional parliament and president, plus full deputies and senators in Madrid, voting equally on national decisions. No colonial overseer, no veto. Section 3. Lawmaking powers. In 1897, Puerto Rico could legislate on education, agriculture, public works, and finance. But Spain kept control of foreign policy, defense, and the Governor General could suspend local laws. In 1978, Puerto Rico would have exclusive powers over culture, language, education, healthcare, police, and economic development. These powers would be constitutionally protected, not subject to suspension by Madrid, except in extreme cases. Section 4. Citizenship and rights. In 1897, Puerto Ricans were Spanish citizens, but their rights were based on decrees that could be suspended. In 1978, Puerto Ricans would be full Spanish citizens with constitutional rights, and after 1986, European Union citizenship, giving them the freedom to work, study, and travel anywhere in Europe. Section 5. Economy and finance. In 1897, Puerto Rico managed its own local budget and contributed to Spain's national budget, with some input on tariffs but no power over trade treaties. In 1978, Puerto Rico would have had a modern fiscal system like other regions, managing healthcare, education, infrastructure, and most importantly, access to billions of euros in EU development funds that transformed Spain's poorest regions. Section 6. Guarantees. In 1897, Puerto Rico's autonomy was fragile and revocable, and it was revoked the moment the US took over. In 1978, Puerto Rico's autonomy would be permanent and constitutionally entrenched, changeable only by a constitutional reform and referendum. Special treat: Puerto Rico's first leaders. And folks, let me give you a little treat here. Because many people don't realize that in 1897, 1898, Puerto Ricans didn't just talk about autonomy, we actually lived it. Puerto Rico had its first autonomous cabinet made up of Puerto Ricans. Luis Muñoz Rivera, Secretary of Grace, Justice, and Government José Severo Quiñones, Secretary of State Manuel Fernández Juncos, Secretary of Public Instruction Manuel F. Rossi, Secretary of Public Works and Communications Francisco Mariano Quiñones, Secretary of Agriculture, Commerce, and Industry. Andrés Crozas, Secretary of Treasury and Finance Puerto Ricans, also sat in the insular parliament and even sent deputies and senators to Spain, as Cortes in Madrid, including leaders like Luis Muñoz Rivera, Deputy José Celso Barbosa, Deputy Rosendo Matienzo Cintrón, Deputy Pedro María de Cartes, Deputy Antonio Matei Lluveras, Deputy Sotero Figueroa, Deputy, plus 3 Puerto Rican senators in Madrid's Senate, in closing. So remember, Puerto Rico did it then. We governed ourselves with dignity. We had our own cabinet, our own parliament, and even a voice in Spain's national legislature. And we can do it again now, with the same courage and determination that our ancestors showed in 1897. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more history and political breakdowns like this one.